Hey guys, today I want to introduce you to an application that we will be using a lot, whether you're a remote learner or in person. The application is called Kami, and it can be used on Chromebooks or PCs. And the first thing that you need to do before using Kami is to make sure that you have logged into your Google Classroom. Okay, so we're going to double check. If you have logged in successfully, you will see your little icon in the upper right corner of your Google browser or Chrome browser. You want to make sure that you are in Chrome and not another web application browser. When you've logged into your Google account, our district has pushed down most of these icons or these extensions for us to use. Mine is right here. It's a circle with a K in it, but if you don't see that icon, simply come over here to the right side and you're going to click on the puzzle piece that is black, and then you should be able to look on the list and find where your Kami extension is. If you want to make sure it shows back up on the address bar up there by your extensions, you pin it to the extension bar. Okay, so I've logged in. Now, when I go to Kami, the first thing I want to do, even though I may not have ever used it, is I'm going to log in with Google. Because we've already logged into our browser, it won't ask us to retype our password. I'm going to open my document from Google Drive. And the first thing I'm going to do is look here and search for the file that I need. So I'm going to do a demo. This is a worksheet that I'm going to open up. The worksheet is actually a JPEG. So the first thing that Kami is going to do is probably ask me if I want to recognize the text. I'm not going to work and edit any of the text that's already on the worksheet, so I can say no thanks. If there was a typo on here that I needed to edit, I would use the OCR so that it would recognize the text. Now, there's 3 or 4 different things that we're going to use Kami for in our class. The first thing that we're going to do is we use it for marking up a document. Marking up a document is basically just highlighting stuff. I suggest that you use the box highlighter. It works a little bit nicer. It's a little bit neater. I would go with one of the 3 light colors of either yellow, green, or pink. Try not to use a darker color that is not going to show up well with dark text. So I highlight whatever part I'm going to draw emphasis to, and that's all you have to do for marking it up. The next thing is sometimes we're going to color inside shapes or boxes. Here I'm going to my drawing tools. Let me move this over. And 1 is my stroke thickness. That means how thick my brush is. I want to choose a much thicker brush stroke, so I'm going to choose 12. And I'm going to fill in these primary color boxes. The first thing I noticed that I run into a problem with is that all of my primary colors are not listed here. The first one is yellow, so I'm going to paint that in with my yellow. I don't have to worry too much about getting to the extreme edges because in this particular worksheet, I would tell you not to worry about it. The next thing I'm going to do is red. It already shows up there, so now I can color red. Now, when I look at my slide out here, I see a version of blue, and I start to use it, and I realize, you know what, that's probably way too light for this color. So I can click on my eraser and click on top of the color I just colored, and it removes it. So now we've got to go back and find a better color of blue. To do that, I'm going to click on More Colors. I'm going to find, I think this blue would probably be more appropriate, so I hit Save. My blue didn't automatically change, so I have to come over here and select it again. And now I'm going to paint my blue color right there. One of the last things that we can do with using color is to do shapes. If I wanted to fill in my blue shape with a rectangle, I could do that. Right now my stroke thickness is pretty small, so if I wanted to go in and make that box look nice, I would do a 12-point stroke. I'm going to choose the blue color again. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw my box, and then I could fill it in easily. If I wanted those to look nice and neat, that's something that I could do. I'm not too worried about it right now. The last thing that we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to edit text using Kami, which is most often what we do. When we use our worksheets and we're filling in answers, I always suggest, I would like for you to use a blue color or a red color, something that is definitely not black, Please don't use a light color because yellow is much too difficult to read on a white background. So I'm going to switch to blue. And I'm going to click over here, and when I click, it's going to make a text box. I can resize that text box by dragging the handles. If I accidentally made two text boxes, I can click on the little upper left corner and click the X. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start typing my answer. Monochromatic is using only one color in an image. Okay. Now notice that my text is pretty small. It might be difficult for us to read, so I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to come down here and choose a color or a size, that I think would be appropriate. Now, if my lines don't move, or if I need to readjust it to fill in the blank, I want to put this right here so it looks like it's on the line. I can do that by simply clicking and dragging the box. If you're trying to use one of the tools over here on the side that has a little lock, that means that we do not have access to it with our Granbury account. To save your document, you come over here and click Save. If you're logged into your Google Classroom and your Google Drive, which I am right here because I see my initials here and I see my picture here, I can click Save and it's going to override my document wherever it was. So if it was in my Google Drive, it's going to automatically put it back into my Google Drive. If I'm unsure about whether or not it's going to save, I can always choose to create an extra copy of it in my Google Drive, or by clicking on this icon right here, I can download it to my computer.